From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Welcome to Deep Dive. It is February 25th, 2026. We are looking back at a day that redefined representation, art, and global power structures.
It is a fascinating mix today, Noah. We are spanning centuries of change, from the first African-American senator taking his seat in Washington to a secret speech in Moscow that sent shockwaves through the Soviet Empire.
Right, it is a heavy-hitting day for history. We have three incredible birthdays to celebrate in the world of the arts, but we have to start with that monumental shift in the U.S. Capitol in 1870.
Exactly. You were talking about Hiram Rhodes Revels. On this day in 1870, he was sworn in as a U.S. Senator from Mississippi. Think about the gravity of that moment, Noah, just 5 years after the end of the Civil War.
It is remarkable, Adriana. Revels was a minister and an educator before his political career, which gave him a unique set of skills to navigate the intense scrutiny of that era. He was taking a seat that had been vacated by a Confederate, which is such a powerful symbol of the Reconstruction era.
Yeah, it really highlights the radical possibilities of that brief period. His presence in the Senate was not just a personal victory, it represented the enfranchisement and the new political reality for Black Americans in the South.
While the political landscape was shifting in America, the world of art and culture was being reshaped by some true giants. We have a trio of birthdays today that cover Impressionism, opera, and rock and roll.
Let us start with Pierre-Auguste Renoir, born in 1841. He was such a central figure in French Impressionism. His work really captured the vibrancy of Parisian life, focusing on beauty and the play of light.
That's remarkable, Adriana. He moved from a very traditional background in porcelain painting to breaking all the rules of the Academy. He really helped define what it meant to be a modern artist in the 19th century.
And speaking of defining a medium, we have to talk about Enrico Caruso, born in 1873. He was more than just a legendary tenor. He was essentially the first global recording star.
Caruso's voice was perfectly suited for the early phonograph technology. He helped make the gramophone a household staple and transformed opera from an elite live experience into something that could travel anywhere on a disc.
From the Metropolitan Opera to the modern era, our third birthday today is George Harrison, born in 1943. Most people know him as the quiet Beatle, but his influence on music went so far beyond his role as lead guitarist.
Right. He really brought a different sensibility to the band. Harrison was the one who pushed them towards Indian classical music and spiritual themes. Without his curiosity, the Beatles' sound in the late 60s would have been completely different.
Yeah, and his solo career, especially with the All Things Must Pass album, proved he was a massive songwriting talent in his own right. He really bridged that gap between pop stardom and a deeper search for meaning, Noah.
While we are looking at these cultural shifts, we also have to look at a massive political pivot that happened in 1956. This one involves Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev and what has become known as the secret speech.
No way. This was at the 20th Party Congress in Moscow. It was supposed to be a standard gathering, but Khrushchev took the podium and delivered a 4-hour denunciation of Joseph Stalin. It caught almost everyone by surprise.
He attacked the cult of personality that Stalin had built and detailed the purges and the terror. This was the start of de-Stalinization. It was Khrushchev's attempt to reform the party and move the Soviet Union into a new era.
Exactly, Noah. The ripple effects were huge. It led to protests in places like Poland and Hungary, and it fundamentally changed the relationship between the Soviet Union and other communist nations. It was a high-stakes move to distance the state from its brutal past.
It is interesting to see how February 25th holds these stories of breaking with the past. Whether it is Hiram Revels breaking a racial barrier in the Senate, or Khrushchev breaking the silence on Stalinism. It is a day defined by transition.
And the arts were transitioning right alongside them. Renoir, Caruso, and Harrison were all innovators who looked at their crafts and decided to take them in entirely new directions.
It really gives you a lot to think about as we move through our own modern shifts, Adriana. History has a way of showing us that the status quo is never as permanent as it feels. Thank you for listening.
That is why we do this. Thank you for joining us as we explored the legacy of February 25th, Noah. Visit deepdive.neuralnewscast.com for more. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today. Neural Newscast uses artificial intelligence in content creation, with human editorial review prior to publication. While we strive for factual, unbiased reporting, AI-assisted content may occasionally contain errors. Verify critical information with trusted sources. Learn more at neuralnewscast.com.